basically summarizing the same thing that we all know about, right? Because we talk about lamentation. What are the strategies on the table to get rid of these colonial laws and colonial rules and colonial benefits and interests that we should be doing at this point in time, right? Because we can sit there and point out all the things they are doing to us. We already know they are doing to us. My sister said, "What the like when I need we are not sleeping." What can we do to remove those structures out of place so that we can move forward? And that's what we talk about, protecting colonial structures. But that's what the people currently in charge are doing. They're basically protecting colonial benefits and interests. And it was never for the people. It has never been for the people. That's why they are okay with going to down, what is it called, 10 Downing Street.
Down the street, yeah.
Yeah, before they can come and do anything, they have to take permission. So we're trying to establish the point that you're under colonialism. Like they never left. They never left. So that's the point we're trying to make with this video. That's why you're not moving forward. That's why you wake up one day. I was looking at the dollar decline from 2020 to 2025. They have gone from 300 to 1,500. How does that? Who calculate that kind of math in a place that has oil and gas? How does it make sense?
Yeah, neocolonialism. That's what neocolonialism will do. So please put there's a picture that you pull up, because you were asking what are the people doing. Because we, like my sister said, we play this video for you to know that what is happening in Nigeria is happening in Sierra Leone, Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali, everywhere is the same thing. So if you're looking for solution, you must look at what the problem is. You must make proper diagnosis. So people in Francophone, like part of what people are doing, you can see if you're following the news, Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali, they are decolonizing. That thing you see them doing is called decolonization. Removing every colonial structure, every colonial system, because you can't move forward with it. Like, I like telling people that I like reading the Bible. You see, this Bible, I've been reading it since I was a child. People are not interpreting it to me. I don't wait for your pastor and priest to read it and tell me what he thinks he's saying. I've been reading it by myself because it's very interesting, very intriguing. Like, I like the strategies in it. That is what drew my attention, because it's a record of human problems and how they solve their problem over the years. So we have issue with it when people use it to brainwash others. If you look at it as a record, as a history book that shows all the ancestors, people before us, the type of problem they had and how they solved their problem, they remind me of my own ancestors, because that's how my ancestors did. Now, in that book, there's a story about a garden of Eden, where human beings were inside. You see, your own ancestral land where you live is your own Garden of Eden, given to you by God. In that book, do you know what happened? Snake came into that garden to take away the resources. Oh, please, the picture, I'll still get to the picture. So the snake came to take away the resources, the rights, the things that the people there had. Think of the snake as the colonialist, the colonial monsters. Now, when I read that book, that part of the story, I used to say, why will Adam see snake inside his compound, inside his garden, and leave the snake? The snake is not even just walking up and down, but he's even having conversation with God, with his wife. And my dear brother Adam, because we are Adam, see this skin, we are formed from the ground. Instead of him eliminating the snake, roasting the snake, killing the snake, he was just there less concerned, allowing the snake to be having beautiful conversation with his wife. Who does that? That is the same thing the indigenous people have been doing. We have come to this platform time without number to tell you that there's a snake in your garden. There's a snake in your ancestral land. You say, no, we want to go and vote P2P. No, it doesn't concern us. Let's vote Tinubu. No, let's know, who are we voting? Atiku. Who are we voting? And these are members and partners of the snake. Rather than concentrate and uproot the snake. So you can see what other parts of the country is in. That's why I said my sister pull it up. In Mali, they say France military withdrawal in Africa. In Francophone countries, that's Mali, Burkina Faso, all these places where they speak French, their colonial monster is France. And they use a document called Pact for Continued Colonialism. In our own side, in Nigeria, our own monster is Britain, using the caliphate as local agent. And the document they use is 1999 Unitary Constitution, which we told you is an upgrade from what it has always been from about 50 years ago. Like when my sister was talking at the introduction, we told you how 1960, first of all, the independence was flag independence. It wasn't real. 1966, they truncated and hijacked the so-called federation that we thought we were building, and then brought documents, and they've been upgrading these documents. 1975 or whatever you call constitution since 1966, it is not the people's made. It is a colonial document. So the first step is to remove that colonial document. The snake in your garden has to go first. Before you start talking about planting the garden, cultivating the garden, who is going to be the gate man for the garden, who is going to be the gardener, who is going to water the plants, who is going to prune the plants. Snake has to go first. That is what Mali is doing. So the military that they kept, France military that they kept in Mali, 2022, they discharged them. Niger, 2023, Oyago. Burkina Faso, 2023, out. Chad, 2024, out. Ivory Coast, 2025. Now Senegal, they're doing the same thing now. So the first step in Nigeria to solve Nigeria problem is to take out the snake, which is represented by the 1999 Constitution. Tell everyone that cares to listen. We are not going to vote who is going to be the gardener, or who is going to be the gate man, or who is going to be watering the plants. We want to take out the snake first, and we have to do it collectively, because the poison of the snake is killing and destroying all of us. My sister was trying to play a video before about neocolonialism. What that video is saying is that this thing did not start in Africa. The colonial monsters tried it with their own brothers and sisters, removed their culture,
Colonialism doesn't
everything, tradition, and imposed their own. This is what this lady is talking now. And what is it telling us? That the first thing first, remove neocolonial structures. That's the first step before we can do anything. Thank you.
just take your land, it takes your mind as well. And the British Empire had a clear strategy. Colonialism doesn't just take your land, it takes your mind as well. And the British Empire had a clear strategy on this one. Force and enforce English and make people ashamed of their culture and their language. Two tactics. With British colonial power, there's always the same two tactics, right? You've got your hard power, so hard enforcements, the rules, the punishments, the laws, the brutality. And then the soft power, which is often forgotten about, which is the psychological manipulation and the propaganda. And a lot of internalized shame. And it worked. Generations of Irish and other Celtic and other nations across the world grew up thinking that their own language wasn't valuable. This is exactly what happened in my family. My grandfather was a native Irish speaker. He was from Spittle, Connemara, and he came to Dublin when he was 16, and it was then that he started to speak English. But when he had my father, he didn't pass that on. And my father has zero Irish. I asked my grandmother, who's still alive, why? And she said, well, we just thought it had no value for them. We lived in Dublin. Nobody spoke it. So you can imagine for them, I guess, who are they speaking Irish for? Is only for my grandfather's parents who had passed away. That was what their minds, that's how they felt in their minds. They didn't see the bigger picture. They thought the language was useless. They thought that it was dead. And I wish that my grandfather could see all the lovely TikToks and the people speaking and learning and teaching Irish on this app because he'd be so proud. The British didn't do that just to the Irish, though. In Wales, children caught speaking Welsh in school had to wear this lovely plaque that said Wales not for the whole day. And if by the end of the day the child had still this around their neck, they'd take a beating. This made Welsh children terrified to speak their own language. The internalized shame of being beaten every time you use your language. We have a vibrant community of Gael schools in Ireland now. For a long time, Irish was outlawed in schools and we were also beaten as children for using it. Over time, people start to associate Celtic languages with poor, uneducated Philistines. I mean, you know where that word came from. When they went to India and Africa, at first, they did allow you to use your native language for one thing. You could read the Bible in it. Once you were converted to Christianity, though, no more language for you. Once the punishments and restrictions were in place, this created a nasty feedback loop that we're still trying to work through. Parents stopped even teaching their children the languages because they thought that they would hold them back. And increasingly, English was embraced as the language of business, and more over generations, parents felt that they must equip their children with English so that they can be successful. That's why English is the most spoken language in the world. It is not the most successful language in the world. It just speaks volumes to the brutality of the British Empire, that they forced that many people to give up their culture. So then what you have emerging in the 20th century is that speaking English becomes a status symbol. Speaking your native language is a sign that you are backwards. And so over time, people didn't need to be forced to speak the language. They did so willingly, thinking that this was a smart choice. And that is the ultimate success of colonialism, when you can get the people to police their own self from your internalized colonial mind. This is still happening. We are still fighting this. Globalism is the new colonialism. Local languages and cultures continue to be erased, except instead of the British, it's the American Empire. And instead of military force, it's corporate power. One of the first.
If you listen, we'll pull up another video. We are just showing you, because these things we have been saying it. They took away our culture, took away our languages, took away our tradition, took away our spirituality, took away everything. That is the meaning of colonialism. They are doing that for you to feel inferior, so that anything they bring, you feel that thing is superior. So you embrace it and promote it, not just embracing it, but you now be the one over time reproducing it, like virus. There's a video I saw somebody telling somebody that you are virus, because that's what virus does. Virus will come into your system, take over your body, and then make your body to reproduce the same virus that is killing your body. That is what neocolonialism is. They come in, take over your system, suppress your system, and then infect you and make you to begin to mass produce that evil that they brought. That's the decision of virus. That is how virus operates.
British virus, indeed.